Good morning. I'm Mrs. Boyd. Today is Monday, February 27th. Welcome to the Warrior Word, where I'm ready to walk and roll.
And I'm Mrs. Moran, and we need to interrupt your morning with an urgent news bulletin.
Yesterday, Sunday, February 26th, was National Tell a Fairy Tale Day.
And as reading teachers, we cannot let this holiday go by unnoticed.
No, we cannot.
Fairy and folk tales are an important part of reading and language arts.
These stories date back hundreds, maybe even thousands of years.
Tales were told before people even knew how to write. Back then, these stories were spoken and changed a little bit every time.
Once people started writing things down, these tales began to sound a lot alike and popped up all over the world.
Every culture has different versions of pretty much the same story. One thing many of these tales have in common, though, is that they all contain a lesson or a moral to learn.
There is even more than that, Mrs. Moran. These stories often start with something like, once upon a time, and typically have a happy ending.
Obviously, I know that, Mrs. Boyd. I even know that tales frequently feature magic, talking animals or creatures, good versus evil, and some sort of problem and solution.
Fairy and folk tales aren't only found in books either. They are shown in movies and TV shows too.
So for this edition of the Warrior Word, we are going to celebrate the fairy tale by reading a rather unusual story.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
The Stinky Cheese Man by John Sheska and Lane Smith. Once upon a time, there was a little old woman and a little old man who lived together in a little old house. They were lonely. So the little old lady decided to make a man out of stinky cheese. She gave him a piece of bacon for a mouth and 2 olives for eyes and put him in the oven to cook.
When she opened the oven to see if he was done, the smell knocked her back.
Ugh.
Phew! What is that terrible smell? She cried. The Stinky Cheese Man hopped out of the oven and ran out the door, calling, "Run, run, run, as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man." The little old lady and little old man sniffed the air. "I'm not really very hungry," said the little old man. "I'm not really all that lonely," said the little old woman. So they didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man.
The Stinky Cheese Man ran and ran until he met a cow eating grass in a field. "Wow! What's that awful smell?" shouted the cow. The Stinky Cheese Man said, "I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man." The cow replied, "I'll bet you could give someone 2 or 3 stomach aches. I think I'll just eat this grass."
So the cow didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man either. The Stinky Cheese Man ran and ran until he met some kids playing outside of their school. "Gross," said a little girl. "What's that nasty smell?"
"I've run away from a little old lady and a little old man and a cow, and I can run away from you too, I can. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Stinky Cheese Man."
A little boy looked up, sniffed the air, and said, "If we catch him, our teacher will probably make us eat him. Let's get out of here."
So the kids didn't chase the Stinky Cheese Man either. Eventually, the Stinky Cheese Man came to a river with no bridge. "How will I ever cross this river? It's too big to jump. And if I try to swim across, I'll probably fall apart," said the Stinky Cheese Man to himself. Just then, the sly fox, who shows up in a lot of stories like these, poked his head out of the bushes. "Why, just hop on my back and I'll carry you across, Stinky Cheese Man." "How do I know you won't eat me?" "Trust me," said the fox.
So the Stinky Cheese Man hopped on the fox's back. The fox swam to the middle of the river and cried, "Oh man, what is that funky smell?" The fox coughed, gagged, and sneezed, which sent the Stinky Cheese Man flying off his back and into the river, where he fell apart. The end.
I did not see that coming, did you?
Nope. I thought the fox was going to trick him somehow.
I guess that's what happens when you're the Stinky Cheese Man.
You stink up one too many noses and boom, you're pasteurized.
Sad.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Warrior Word. I'm Mrs. Boyd, huge Eagles fan who'd like to give a quick shout out to my boy Charles for his support during my time of loss.
And I'm Mrs. Moran. Stay tuned for the next episode featuring fresh faces and hot topics.
Palamia and Doksha Ake. Thank you and see you later. Bye.